church service here, which we have attended, and we are very happy about this. I said in following the remarks actually that were member of parliament, I was saying also following the remarks that you had here that were made by my member of parliament, the Honorable Patrick Osero, and many other leaders have made this week. I am, of course, concerned about the level of rhetoric I'm seeing, especially coming from public officials, especially government-aligned public officials. You know, the nonsense that is going on of dividing, telling us about Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. You know, Kenya, 63 years after independence, we are engaged in such primitive discussions when our country has got very serious challenges and things that we need to be concentrating on. Let us unite our people. Our responsibility as leaders, regardless of the position, our foremost responsibility is to unite our people. The bulk of our population are young people who actually don't care for tribes and that kind of thing. Now, people are being told, you know, like I said, I saw a cabinet minister making, I remarked, I don't know whether to laugh or cry in this day and age, you know, using language I can't even repeat to describe a community, you know, and imagery to describe a community. When we start ethnic profiling, such as I saw that cabinet minister unfortunately do, you are essentially beginning to stigmatize a community because of political decisions or because of what happened in Ol Kalau. Let us be responsible people. I can't say this much more eloquently than some of our founding fathers said. Kenya succeeds when we are together, we act together, and then we must draw a line, because there always will have to be a line between the political competitions that we have, the desires we have for power and position, and the survival and stability of our country. This is our only home on earth. And regardless of your political persuasion, you must approach that line when country is more important than your passions, your feelings, your affiliations, and all that kind of thing. So it's very unfortunate, you know, what are we going to tell our young people when cabinet ministers flying our flag on their cars are speaking in that kind of irresponsible and ridiculous manner? We should never allow that kind of thing to happen. Two, I have said this before and I do not mind repeating it again, and as many times as I have an opportunity to. The insecurity in the country and the movement of goons, armed goons across the country, surely the government cannot say they do not know what is happening. And I say this authoritatively as a former Minister of Interior. The capacity of our country, the structures we have, are capable to bring about order and peace in the country, especially as we approach the campaign season. To have people marauding around with weapons, you know, threatening people. I saw yesterday the governor of Trans Nzoia, my brother and my good friend George Natembea, speak very passionately about attempts to try and disrupt a meeting that was going to be held today. I mean, I would ask in the biblical language, who bewitched us as Kenyans? It's utter nonsense to interfere with the meetings in a democratic country. We are a multi-party democracy. You are free to go anywhere, have a meeting. Kwani, you know, when people go to, for example, in Machakos and have a meeting, are they carrying away those people? You can also go back to Machakos and tell them a different story if you want. But you know, this primitive thinking, which I think is espoused more by our leaders on the side of government, is intolerable. And you know, they need to be advised. You cannot hold on to power in that kind of manner. It is cheaper, and honestly for me, this is very free advice to them. It is much cheaper, easier to go the persuasion route. You might achieve more results by persuading people, sitting down with them in various groups and talking to them nicely, than trying to terrorize people into subservience. That, you know, you organize people and beat them and so on and so forth so that they can follow you. It's a very primitive way of looking at things. It doesn't work, and it will not work. Plus, you know, you are hurting your citizens, people you are supposed to be leading. So let's face this thing. My request, and honestly, This is my one-line statement to His Excellency, our President and his security team. Act decisively and act responsibly on this matter of violence. Act decisively. I keep saying every day, I mean, no one knows about this more than me. I dealt with these things when I was a Minister for Interior. It's very easy to bring about peace and stability in this country and to be firm. We have to act courageously and firmly on these matters. You can't tell me that with the security capability we have, people are moving around the streets of this country with rungus and pangas and arrows and so on and so forth, and threatening people, disturbing meetings, stoning people. Those silly things should come to an end. And we have a government in place. We are not a country without a government. We are not a banana republic. We have a government in place, a government that is legitimately in office. We all respect the government. Act decisively, Mr. President, and firmly, and ensure that these things are sorted out. And then when people do these things, whether they are your friends, whether they are in your government, sort them out. The law is there for all of us. That's what is supposed to happen. In my view, and one of you was asking me what I would do. This thing wouldn't happen if I was president. I mean, you would never ever talk about this thing if I was in charge. Never. How? I cannot be commander-in-chief of a country where people carry rungus around and beat others. It will not work. Simple. And anyway, if you want a solution to those issues, I think I am that solution.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Come on.